What's going on, guys? Boswell Base 6 here, back to another video. And today I'm going to review a Raw that just happened a little bit ago. And yeah, we are in Memphis, Tennessee, folks. And before we get into anything, if you guys have noticed, my voice is starting to get a little bit better. It doesn't sound as groggy, even though that there was still some, I'll still have to clear my throat every once in a while. I am feeling a lot better. Again, thank you guys to all those who have, wished me luck on my recovery from COVID. I'm going to be returning back to work in a few days, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It just kind of sucked because of the timing. But anyways, with that out of the way, let's review some Raw, why don't we? First of all, we get a recap of Big E and Kevin Owens last week. Rollins is backstage talking about how Big E and KO, they're going to be fighting a salad steel cage. I think that's what Michael Hayes said. But Big E's backstage says that he's ready to fight, and Owens says he doesn't tell no lies. Alright, Big E versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage. It was fine. Not a bad cage match. Big E, KO's trying to escape the cage. Big E tries to go for a spear during the match, but Owens moves. We get a moonsault from Kevin Owens, which is always impressive, considering KO's kind of a big guy, and him doing that kind of stuff's very impressive. Sunset flip off the top rope. Rollins shows up, slams the door in both of their faces when they're trying to escape. Frogs KO. Sorry, I knew I forgot to do something. We get a frog splash by KO, then a pop of power bomb. Big ending from the second rope, and somehow KO still tried to prevent Big E from escaping. By the way, Owens looked like he took a pretty bad. Looks like he landed pretty bad off of that big ending. Big E escapes, then Rollins attacks Big E, and then later, KO. Rollins goes for the stomp, but Big E stops it, hits a belly to belly, then hits a big ending to KO. Then we got the commercial break. Okay, a little chaotic, but you know what? Not that bad. We get back from break. And all of a sudden, everyone's laid out, and we're like, wait. Big E was just celebrating. What the hell happened? Turns out Bobby Lashley attacked everybody. Why was that during the break? Why was that during the commercial? Genuine question. You could have taken out some of the things on the show, and this be kind of the recurring theme, and everything would have been fine. But it's whatever. It's WWE, and we can't have nice things. Then Queen Zelina and Carmella come down, and God dies a little bit. Zelina trying to cut a promo. A Latina trying to do a British accent is appalling to me. I will never not laugh out of that. And she talks about, Nikki Cross and all that stuff. And then we get Zelina versus Nikki. And Nikki ASH with Rhea Ripley. My goodness, Rhea Ripley. During, her entrance, Nikki's got, a bat symbol-like thing with a spotlight saying ASH. This gimmick is shit. This is a stupid-ass gimmick. This match was a match. Zelina's not terrible. She can actually work in small amount of matches, but I just like how funny it is that both of these women are the same height. I don't know why that was funny. Zelina wins with the code red. Okay. Corey Graves was insufferable because he was talking to his side hoe. If they managed to be married for more than 2 years, I will be shocked. RK Bro were backstage. I didn't care. Because there's an RK Bro-nament coming on. And and Orton's wearing a blazer. I don't know what's going on. And then Rhea and Nikki are backstage. Or what's an autograph? Nikki's like, I didn't know. And she's like, I didn't want your autograph. I want his autograph. Jerry the King Lawler shows up. Okay, fair. I mean, he is part of Memphis Wrestling, so I'll give him some leeway on that. I honestly thought he was going to stay on the show, but that was just for a cheap pop, but in a random ass cameo. Alright, Styles and Omos versus Street Profits. First round of the RK Bro-nament. You can really tell how many teams there are in the Raw division right now. So, the match wasn't bad, I just didn't really care for half of it. Riddle on commentary was insufferable. Orton didn't say a word, I think. And then Styles goes for, almost gets slapped, and then Styles goes for a phenomenal form on Montez Ford. But almost tags in, and then he starts, going outside the ring, beating everyone up. Montez gets thrown in the ring, almost gets counted out. And then there may be some dissension between the team. That's the moral of the story. Almost gets counted out, costs the team the match. There might be some dissension. Okay? And then Riddle gets in the ring. And he's annoying. A lot. It seems like I'm going through the show. The show had its moments, but overall it was just kind of there. Becky backstage, talking about her title match against Liv Morgan. For others, it may be a big night, but it's just another Monday. RK Bro backstage. I didn't care. Don't know, don't care. Damian Priest, U.S. Open Challenge. Robert Roode answers it. Okay, not bad. Remember when Robert Roode was prominent? Pepperidge Farm remembers, but he's stuck in a shitty-ass tag team with Dolph Ziggler. Match was fine. I just didn't really care in the outset. There was a cool spot where Damian tries to go for a springboard, but it gets countered to a spinebuster. That was pretty cool. Reversals. Again, match wasn't bad. Some good reversals, but in the end, the Reckoning, 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest wins, and then Ziggler super kicks him. We're going to get that match soon. Then we get a recap of Piper versus Bianca. Okay, it's a feud. I don't mind it. It's just kind of there. And I love both of these women. They are both great athletes, but I don't know. I just felt like they just need something for Piper and Bianca to do. So then anyway, Belair comes down and then Piper attacks her. And 17 years ago today was the first ever Raw Women's main event. Trish Stratus and Lita main evented. Interesting. By the way, Trish Stratus and Lita, yes please. Anyways, Piper versus Bianca. This was actually pretty good. This is probably Piper's best main roster match. It took a little bit, and my God, Piper, you were goddamn gorgeous. I like Bianca, like the way she's got, I just like the way her hair is done and all that stuff, and, strength versus speed, even though Bianca is strong. Jesus Christ, she is strong for, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. She served in the military, for God's sake. Great stuff. There was a spinebuster at one point. That is always impressive. A Vader bomb at one point. And then Bianca tries to hit a KOD, which that is impressive. I mean, love Piper, but for Bianca to pick up a woman that big, that is just amazing. A woman at Piper's size, that is phenomenal, but it wasn't botched, just Piper got out of it and she rolled out of the ring. Okay, this feud is going to continue. If it continues a match like this, then yes, please. If you wanted to have Piper be a heel, make her like a female Vader. That's what we needed. We didn't need her to be this dewdrop character and team her up with boring-ass Eva Marie and have that stupid-ass feud and just have Piper like this. Then I wouldn't be hating on the character so much. It's not I don't hate Piper character. I love Piper. This name is so goddamn stupid. And it's dragging her down. Jesus. Anyways. Bianca wins by countout. Okay, again, this feud is going to continue. We get a recap of Vince McMahon and Austin Theory last week. And Vince and Theory are backstage. Vince looks a little bit better here, but my God, where's the lemon pledge? He sounds rough. I mean, Vince sounds like he hasn't gotten sleep. Is he sick? Does he need some time off? Does he need rest? What does Vince need? He needs to have a freaking mace around his neck, Because, my God, the decisions he makes is goddamn stupid. He's talking to Austin Theory. He's probably going to tell Theory when his contract's up or when they're going to fire him. He probably told Theory about all the releases that are going to be coming up next. Anyways, Miss TV with Edge, and it's all about, kindness and humble beginnings and all this stuff. And this was some pretty good stuff, I will admit. Miz talking about how he debuted in 2006. We're just going to ignore 2004, 2005, aren't we? And Ed said, I've known you for 15 years, or Miz says, I've known you for 15 years, and you're starting to look a little bit frail. And okay. Again, this is some pretty good stuff, and Miz says, last week, the old Ed was speared me out of my shoes, and Ed is like, those $9,000, you mean the $9,000 ugly ass shoes you have? My Jordan 3s are better. My Jordan 3s are cooler than yours. Okay, that was pretty funny. Edge makes a challenge at day one. Or Miz challenges him to day one. Edge accepts, and Edge scares Miz, and Miz wants a fight. Liv Morgan backstage. She's talking about her title match against Becky. Okay. A little bit on that later. Mysterio's promos. Don't have Dominic cut a promo, please. I mean, he didn't really cut a promo, but he talked. No. Don't have Dominic talk. Oh, okay. The Mysterios versus Alpha Academy. First round. It was mainly just Chad Gable and Dominic Mysterio, which I get what they were trying to do. It just didn't work for me. I mean, Dominic hit a pretty mean slap, I will say that. And it was basically, can Dominic basically hang? Can he prove Chad Gable wrong? He ultimately did. Gable went for a moonsault, roll up, 1, 2, 3, and Dominic Mysterio pins Gable. And the world dies a little bit. Look, I don't hate Dominic Mysterio. He impressed the hell out of me against his match with Seth Rollins. But he is so goddamn bland. He is so boring. Like, even with Ray there, he doesn't seem like he doesn't seem interesting. That's just me. Anyways, Riddle tries to talk about how was that loss and Otis attacks him. Okay? Vince and Theory are backstage. You gotta impress me, pal. Expect the unexpected. Theory's doing jumping jacks, and Vince says, go impress me. Okay? Oh, well, Theory tries to take off his jacket and do jumping jacks, and Vince is like, go leave, please. Anyways, Dominic Dijakovic versus Balor. The crowd, I think, fell asleep during this match. The match wasn't bad. There were some pretty good spots here. At one point, Balor goes for the coup de grace, but Dijak looks like he's about to choke slam him, but in the end, coup de grace, 1, 2, 3, and then Austin Theory attacks Finn Balor. Okay, we're probably going to get that feud. This storyline means nothing. Anyways, moving straight along to our first 7 shenanigans, because why the hell not? Is that PG? I think that's what Truth says. Now I don't know why it always gets a crack on me. We're going to recap of Lashley's destruction, and then MVP and Lashley are backstage. Don't disrespect the Almighty. It's all about respect. Liv Morgan vignette. I think this was cut from, Live Forever. I think the WWE 24 piece that they did, which was brilliant, by the way. Really good stuff here. Really good stuff here. Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. Raw Women's title. Good stuff. Fine match. Becky obviously led the match, but Morgan held up her end here, even though there was a couple botch spots here and there, but that's going to happen in every match. There was a nice suicide dive outside. There was a nice superplex. Liv holding up her end here. There were some good counters, good reversals, great roll-ups. It was slow a little bit, I will admit, but the crowd really really were cheering for Liv here. Great stuff. Pretty damn good stuff. I think this is Liv's best match, in my opinion. I mean, at this point, she might have great later on, but Becky kind of being the devious heel, Liv being the underdog, great stuff. Manhandle Slam countered. The Rings of Saturn got countered. Submissions aplenty. And then Becky goes for the Manhandle Slam. Liv counters it, but goes into a roll-up on the ropes, grabbing the ropes, 1, 2, 3, and Becky wins. And Liv is devastated. This feud ain't over. If the matches are going to be progressively better, you know, from this, then Liv's going to get hot. Her stature is going to get a little bit higher. Overall, not a terrible show. Started good and ended pretty damn good too. There was some stuff I didn't care about, but that doesn't mean the show wasn't completely awful. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Join the herd. I'll talk to you guys next video. Peace out.